Hello there, Internet. It's me, Broken Terrain, and I have finished my modular magnetic village and town walls, and I can't wait to show them off to you right after the drop. In preparation for this project, you are going to need craft sticks. Tons and tons of craft sticks. I've got this set here. They're really thin and they make a really great looking board to scale. They also work, they're the size of boards on my templates I'm going to use, so I really like these. I wish I had the packaging to show you exactly what size and type they are. You're just going to have to go to your hobby store or whatnot and find a craft stick that you really like. And then I just put on some music or some videos I want to watch, move them to the edge of the table there, and then use my very rough rasp and file to just really add some wooden texture. Then I'm going to grab my ready board, which is dollar store foam board, and I'm going to cut it into 2.5-inch tall strips. Just nice long strips, and then I'm going to cut those strips into 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch pieces. And these are going to be my walls. Normally I would say the better, or the more the better, but I had 19 walls this round, and it took frickin' forever to get through all this stuff. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you do it a lot, but enough so that you're not driving yourself crazy and really wishing that the project was just over halfway through, because you do one little step on one and you got to do it to 18 others when you're doing 19 pieces, which is what I did. Go ahead and peel the backs or the paper backing of the Ready board. That's why it's a preferred brand for crafters. You can pull that paper off nice and easy. And then I took a cardboard dowel. I mushed up some tin foil or aluminum foil and glued it around the tube there, and that way I had a nice roll-on texture, so I could get that drywall texture. A lot of people, I've seen people actually lay down plaster for their drywall. I've seen glue and sand. They work well, they look good, but I just don't feel it's needed. I think a good rolling of aluminum foil on this ready board, foam board, just produces a really nice drywall stucco look or texture, and I think you just don't need to get any more messy and more involved. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Hit me up with comments in the comments section. Let me know if you like the way my plaster ends up looking, or if you think I'd be better served with a different technique. After that, it's cutting the holes for the little notches for the magnets, and when you place the magnets down, you see I have a long strip on a little ring just to keep track of them and keep them handy. And when I put the magnets in, I roll one on one side, and then when I glue the second one in place, I roll it backwards on the other side, and that way the magnets are actually positioned opposite. And this helps so that all the walls kind of stick together. They all have one side that wants to stick to one side of every other wall. I found this really helpful. If you forget it on a couple of pieces, it's not the end of the world, but your pieces won't want to stick together seamlessly on the board. So try to make sure you're paying attention to the polarity of the magnets when you do that. Now with the magnets in place, you hot glue them down and then hot glue around the edges and the bottom. And this is to encase that magnet in glue and really bind it to the piece of foam. You don't want the magnet ripping out of the walls mid-play. That would be a little embarrassing and really screw things up for you, particularly if you're away from your hot glue gun and you can't quite repair it. You'll notice, I know we're way past that that shot in the video, but I use a little piece of parchment paper. When I put the glue around the sides and the bottom of the magnet, I stand the wall up on that parchment paper, and this allows the glue to dry perpendicular, nice and flat, and that way, even without a magnetic base, the wall wants to stand up. This really helps. And then it's time to grab the templates, lay the templates down, and trace out important features. I got a lot more sparse as the project went on, drawing things like sketching out the placement of windows and doors, and then in others just main boards and beams, and I would freehand and freestyle the trimming and gluing of boards and pieces as I went. I just didn't, there were so many walls, it took so long, I just wasn't going to template all of them. There was no reason for it. The way the boards are set up, nice and varied in position and look and angle, there was no reason to draw and sketch out and template every line. Don't do that. Instead, maybe do that for the first couple, and then once you get a feel for it, you're just gonna go. I mean, I had 19 of these little walls, fronts and backs to do. It was crazy to think I was gonna stick to a template for all of them. So you can see after a while, you sketch out where the windows and doors are, maybe one or two other key board locations, and then you just go crazy, and you'll really get the feel for it. Now, my templates had the walls just up past the magnets, and this was going to work well for me. I'm going to do a brick pattern along the bottom of the walls. This is going to make the walls look a lot similar, or look exactly like or similar to my houses that I have already crafted and created. So I have a brick foundation on those. I might as well do that on the walls. Here you can see one with some windows that I had cast. If you want to see how I did that, I think I tackled that in the mill part 2. I created an actual mold of some windows that I had received through Kickstarter, and I was able to mold those windows, and now I can cast them with some UV acrylic resin whenever I need windows that fit. It's one of my pet peeves. I hate constructing small windows, and this way all I have to do is cast some, and I get a really nice quality looking window for minimum effort. I mean, you put in the effort for the mold, but once you've done that, you're able to cast window after window that all look fairly good, assuming you're taking your time with the molds. I do have some air bubbles and things on some of these, but I'm good with it. Here you can see an absolute just stack of walls. I've got 8-inch, 6-inch, 4-inch, some 2-inch. There's some 4 popped out doors there that I'll be able to slide those in and out as gameplay requires. Let's begin to paint. I did coat these in a black Magic Craft base coat, which is half matte Mod Podge, half black paint. I did that to protect the foam. Took them outside and I hit them with an espresso spray primer. It's like a dark brown. And this way, the last time I did wooden trim on these walls, it was a pain in the butt to get the sides. So instead, I decided to prime them in the brown and paint the white areas. Now, as clean as I painted the white areas, I still messed up and overpainted on some of the boards. So I'm going to go back in with Apple Barrel's Burnt Sienna. It's a fairly close match to this Rust-Oleum espresso color, close enough at least. And I'm just going to touch up wherever the white overspilled onto the boards. Then I turn to Americana's Honey Brown, delicious honey brown. I love this color. I'm going to go in and dry brush the boards. And this is where all of that wood grain from the rasp and the file really comes in handy. This honey brown's going to pick up all those raised areas and just, oh man, that wood grain pops. You can see a bit of a comparison there. Grab my gray Storm. Love this gray color. Bought a new bottle of it. And I'm going to paint my brickwork. Be very careful not to paint on the boards. And just do the brickwork on the bottoms of each wall, both sides. And once again, it's going really fast on camera, but it took freaking forever, which is why this video is so late. I don't have a homemade brown wash, unfortunately, so this is a very expensive part of the craft. I grabbed my Citadel Earthshade, Athrax Earthshade, something like that. It's the brown wash, and I'm going to sparingly hit every little single area of light buttermilk on here. And this is going to dirty up that plaster, that drywall look, and really make these look like lived-in old school village and town walls. Now, my jar of homemade black wash that's still kicking to this day. I'm not quite sure how. I'm just going to hit that stonework on the bottom of each wall with my black wash. It's going to darken the stones up and just sink into all those little nooks and crannies and crevices. In particular, the spacing between all the bricks. And once that is dried, I'm going to go back with a granite gray and give all that stonework a nice dry brush. That's going to make all these bricks pop and just really set everything off. It's going to look great. You could dry brush the edges of the boards at this point in the craft as well, but I didn't want to. I liked the way they looked. I liked that honey brown in the grain. I liked the brown wash on the panels. And to be perfectly honest, I was ready to be done. One more step, Rust-Oleum's Ultra Cover Matte Clear, and take them outside and give them a nice coat of that matte clear. That's going to protect them against Cheeto fingers, Dorito fingers. If someone spills something, that clear coat will help protect your pieces, and I highly recommend it. It's a step I don't always cover in the video, and I apologize for that. I thought I don't get a lot of shots of me spraying outside because, simply put, I don't have a good space for it. I'm kind of over there by the shed and the garbage cans, trying to block the wind and make it happen. So I don't always cover the clear coat step, and that's my bad. Whenever possible, try to finish your pieces up with a nice clear coat. This is going to help protect them against the oils of fingers, of foods, and just general moisture, the spilling of Mountain Dews and beers at the gaming table. It's a good step. I shouldn't omit it as often as I do, so I'm going to make sure you know this time. And that's that. Now that they've been clear coated, they are amazing and ready to play with. I've got my foldable portable gaming tabletop here with my cobblestone stamp, and I just have a blast putting these walls wherever I feel like putting them. And now for these sexy beauty shots. I used my entire board, and I've got this great village with this market in the middle set up. I've got the walls from my very first set of walls. They go real good with this current set of walls. My market scatter in the center. A full bustling village with completely playable interiors. I love it. I freaking love it. I still have that table set up in my room right now. I should have taken it down so I can jump onto the next project, but I just couldn't help myself. I think I'm going to leave it up and just use it for some photography. I love taking pictures of minis and within the backgrounds and terrain that I make. And these walls give you that background. They really give your minis a world in which to play in which to be photographed in. I highly recommend them, even if you just like making minis and painting them. Having walls and some kind of floor tile is a great way to add dimension to your photography and add a well, just to add a background that's really cool, really sets your minis off. So even if you don't want to use this project for playing, if you just want to set up a nice corner, like a tavern corner with these walls, and you can just place your minis in and take pictures against, I highly recommend it. It's a great project, a great way to fill out your foldable portable tabletop, and I'm just in love. I'm certainly going to continue making set after set of these modular magnetic walls, and I hope you love them as much as I love them. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, smash that like button. Hit subscribe for more content like this. Share the video with your family and friends. Check out my links below. I've got an Amazon affiliate link now as well. So if you see some products that I've been using and you want to get your hands on them, look below for those links. As always, like each other, love each other, and craft on.